This is a hell for lazy people, where thousands of people are running from a giant roller as their punishment because if they stopped, they would be crushed under it, and if they jumped into the water to save themselves, the fish would tear them apart. This man was a firefighter who jumped from the 20th floor while trying to save a little girl, but his rope broke and he fell to the ground. Surprisingly, nothing happened to him, and he also managed to save the girl. However, when he approached the girl's parents to see if she was hurt, they completely ignored him and walked away. Suddenly, he heard someone calling his name and saw two people smiling at him. He quickly shouted at them to step away from the falling debris, but then he noticed some firefighters trying to save a man who looked exactly like him. He soon realized that he was already dead. The couple then told him they were his guardians in the afterlife and would help him go through the 7 trials of judgment. Since he had died doing a noble thing, it would be easy for him. But before the man could process all of this, his body began levitating in the air, and he was sucked into a giant portal. This man touched the ground with his hand, and in the next second, his body turned into concrete. A car on the road hit him, but surprisingly, he didn't even move despite the massive impact. Instead, the car flew into the air and landed several meters away. The man had the ability to turn his body into any material he touched. When he touched a diamond, his whole hand turned into diamond. He intercepted the car to steal a powerful object that possessed a mysterious power. No one could touch it without turning into stone. The man did not want to touch the object directly, so he touched the car's tire with his hand, which turned his hand into rubber, and then picked up the object and took it with him. However, the man underestimated the object's power. Inside a restaurant, he checked his hand and realized it was slowly turning into stone. When he tried to sell the object, a police officer appeared with a sniper and fired a shot directly at him. But in the man's eyes, the bullet seemed to come towards him in slow motion. As the bullet got near, he turned his body into steel, and the bullet bounced off him, leaving the officer stunned. This boy changed back.
This boy was about to jump off the bridge. When a gang leader saw this, he rushed over to try to catch him, but it was already too late, and they were both hit by a truck. When the gang leader woke up in the hospital, he realized he had somehow switched bodies with the boy. At first he thought it was just a dream until he looked at his own body. He then went back to the bridge to jump, hoping to return to his original body. But when he woke up, he was still in the boy's body, and now his leg was also broken. Accepting his new reality, he decided to learn more about the boy's life. He took out the boy's tablet from his bag and found a diary written by him. While reading it, he found out that the boy was constantly being bullied in school by his classmates, to the point that he decided to end his life. After reading this, he decided to take revenge on the boy's behalf. He went to a barbershop for a haircut that changed his whole look, and even the students in his class couldn't recognize him. When the teacher called for attendance, everyone realized that he was the same boy. The school bully started harassing him again, not knowing that he was now messing with a gang leader. When the boy started to fight back, the bully was shocked to see that he knew martial arts.
This man was about to kill himself, believing he was the last person on Earth, but suddenly a laser light struck his face. Startled, he quickly broke the knot from the ceiling and fell to the floor. Looking out the window, he saw a girl waving at him. He was so relieved to find another living person. The man had been stuck in his apartment for the last 30 days, as everyone in his building had turned into zombies. When the woman realized that he hadn't eaten anything in days, she tied a rope to a ball and tried to throw it to his apartment, but the ball dropped on the ground. The man then attached the rope to his drone and flew it over to the girl's balcony. She secured the rope and sent some food sliding down toward him. The man ate the food and thanked the girl. But suddenly he noticed something on the ground and signaled the girl to look down. A zombie had grabbed the rope of the ball that the girl had thrown earlier, causing the girl to be knocked down. Seeing this, the man desperately tried to throw bottles at the zombie to distract it, but the zombie continued to climb up. He then flew his drone toward the zombie, trying to make it fall, but the zombie knocked down the drone too. Just as the man felt helpless, the girl chopped off the zombie's hand with an axe. This boy got a cut on his finger, but the next second it healed on its own. He was amazed to see this later when a school bully tried to punch him. The punch backfired, hitting the bully instead. The bully then hit him with a wooden plank, but it also backfired, leaving the boy unharmed. The boy realized that now nobody would be able to hurt him anymore. When his mom came home, he showed her that he was unaffected even by fire. However, the bullies didn't know about his powers and continued teasing him. One night, when the boy was riding his bike home, the bullies followed him in their car and tried to scare him. The boy tried to pedal faster, but they sped up the car. He couldn't control his bike and fell, causing the car to pass over him. The boy remained unharmed, but the driver died on the spot. As if he had been run over by the car, the bullies decided to take revenge by destroying his home. They went to his house when they thought nobody was there and removed the house base with the help of chains. But they didn't realize that the boy's mother was still inside. The instability caused a gas leak, and the house went up in flames. The boy was devastated to see that his mother had died. This king created a template of an ideal body shape to select his queen and asked 3 princesses to pass through it without ringing the attached bell. However, all three princesses were so perfectly shaped that they all easily passed this test with flying colors. So the king introduced a second test. He placed 3 cups of wine on a table and told the princesses that one of them was poisoned. To demonstrate the danger, he brought in 3 criminals who were forced to drink from the cups. One of them immediately collapsed after drinking. The king then challenged the princesses to choose a cup, saying that a queen must not only possess great beauty, but also great courage. The first princess became afraid and asked the king to withdraw from the competition, and the king did not punish her. The second princess selected a cup with great difficulty, but couldn't bring herself to drink it. Finally, the third princess stepped forward. She confidently drank from all 3 cups, and surprisingly nothing happened to her. It turned out she had already realized that the criminal, who had seemingly been poisoned, was merely acting on the king's orders. This man gets punched in the face, but the punch penetrates his face because his body is like rubber. When his enemies try to bully him by hanging him upside down from the top of a building, his legs start stretching like noodles and he eventually gets down safely. A woman freaks out after seeing his huge, stretchy legs and wonders what else might be huge. These people are trying to figure out his abnormality, but when a scientist tries to take his blood sample, his hands also stretch out like rubber. The scientist panics and accidentally releases powder on his face, causing him to sneeze, which disorients his whole face. The team wonders what will happen if he farts. After some time, his face returns to normal, but his hands and legs are still stretched out. The scientist makes an antidote for him, hoping it will fix him. The man drinks it and it works like a charm. He is very happy, but the scientist tells him not to get his hopes up, it is just a temporary fix. However, now he can change the shape of his body in any way he wants. The man gets an idea and gives himself a pair of 6-packs.